exhilarating sports talk coming up next on The Doug Stewart Show in about 2 minutes. Stay tuned. We're about to have some fun. That's right, sports talk, guy talk, right here on The Doug Stewart Show. Show coming up in about a minute and a half. Hold on. You have entered a no puppet zone. That's right, no puppetry around here. The Doug Stewart Show coming up in about 1 minute. The realest, treeless, most unfiltered sports and guy talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show coming up in about 30 seconds. Yes!
Play this record as frequently as possible.
The Doug Stewart Show
is the best in the world as far as I'm concerned.
This is sports talk for the people. The Doug Stewart Show. It's like the tail wagging the dog. They create the narrative. Don't believe it. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Or are you not entertained? This is sports talk with hot sauce. Texas Pete hot sauce. The Doug Stewart Show. Yeah! Hold it, Tiger! Yeah! Woo! Hold it, Tiger! Hold it, Tiger! Hold it, Tiger! Hold it, Tiger! Hold that tiger! Hold that tiger! Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show! Hold that tiger, baby! National championship game tonight. The Clemson Tigers taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. And hold that tiger. Shots out to South Carolina. Stand up! Yes, sir. Hey, welcome to the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you so much for joining your boy. Hold that tiger, man. Clemson's fight song on the day of the national championship game between the Alabama Crimson Tide once again and the Clemson Tigers. Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm getting geeked and ready to go, man. I am. I mean, this is big. This is big. I mean, the national championship game. The Clemson Tigers haven't been in a national championship game. They won the national championship game back in 1981. Shouts out to the great Homer Jordan. Shouts out to Perry Tuttle. Shouts out to the great Kevin Mack, former Cleveland Brown running back. The Clemson Tigers are back. South Carolina, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Hey, welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday, January 11th, 2015. Your boy is back. Good morning. What's happening? How y'all doing? Your boy is back from his little West Coast trek. Went out to Fox Sports this past week, man, and did a couple of shows, did a couple of things behind the scenes as well. Back and ready to go. Shouts out to everybody out there at Fox Sports if you're listening to the show right now. I know a couple of those cats out there told me that they listen to the show. Shouts out to y'all, man. Thank you for all of the hospitality. Had a great time. I don't know if some of the Stewies listening to the show actually saw it, but I did the countdown show this past week down there, and had a great time. And once again, shouts out to Fox Sports, man, for welcoming your boy with open arms. Now, I don't have a report of, me having to pack up and move to California like the Beverly Hillbillies or anything like that. Not yet, but continue to say a prayer for your boy. Hopefully some things do come to fruition out there. And if it does, man, y'all will be the first to know, the listeners, the Stewies of the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, man, thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. What took you so long? We've been doing this show for over a year. We have over 10,000 followers. I'm happy to report we crossed the 10,000 listener threshold last week. And we have the best chat room in America. So a couple things you need to do if you're new to the show, man. You need to go on to Spreaker.com and hit the follow button. So whenever the show goes live, you will be alerted. Every once in a while, we may have to do the show at a different time, but it's normally 99% of the time from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. But we also air other shows at other times during the week on the network as well. So hit the follow button on Spreaker.com. That's big. And then hit the little chat bubble on Spreaker and jump into the chat room and get into the chat conversation with the greatest chat room people in the world. I call them the Stewies, and the actual room, the actual place, is the Fantasy Island of Sports and Guide Chat. Yes, sir! Good morning, Stewies! Yeah, so what we do on Mondays, man, is we talk about everything from the past week, weekend in sports, and obviously this past weekend, man, the NFL playoffs in full effect. We will hit all of the action from this past weekend. We'll give our ballers and busters. Some people call them game balls and goats. We call them ballers and busters. We'll do that all day long today as well, as we will talk about the national championship game tonight between the Clemson Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Oh, boy. And if you heard the Two Live Stews this past weekend, Saturday morning on 640 WGST right here in ATL, we actually gave our prediction. So if you did hear that, you know where I'm kind of going with this thing. I talked about it a little bit over the last couple of weeks once we knew who the two teams were. But I'll get into it a little bit more today and give you an actual prognostication of who I like to win this game tonight, the national championship game between the Clemson Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. You can still call the show old school style, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. And let's start it off right here, man. Ball award to the Green Bay Packers as they get it done, 35-18, and they beat the Washington Redskins. Maybe Green Bay's got their mojo back. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers finished 21 for 36 for 210 yards, no turnovers. That was the big thing. And this is one of them I got wrong. We actually picked all four of the games on the Two Live Stews Saturday morning, and I got this one wrong. I had basically went off of what I saw over the last couple of weeks out of the Green Bay Packers and how they had been struggling, and Aaron Rodgers didn't look good, and it seemed like the Washington Redskins were kind of like, maybe not a team of destiny to win the championship, but a team of destiny to at least get out of the first round. They were the home team, which all of you know by now that none of the home teams won this past weekend, the first time that that's happened in the NFL, in NFL history. But Green Bay is going to play the number 2 Arizona Cardinals on Saturday night. It's a rematch of Game 16 that Arizona dominated 38-8. So I don't think Green Bay is going to get past Arizona in this situation, but we will see. Once again, maybe Green Bay has their mojo back. With the Packers and Seahawks joining the AFC's, Pittsburgh Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs the first time. All 4 road teams, all 4 wild card round teams under the current NFL playoff started back in 1990 have won. And so that's a huge deal, man, in this playoff time. Anything can happen any given Sunday. Speaking of which, the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple years ago, you remember they had that tremendous run where, they came from nowhere and went to and won a Super Bowl. The Giants did it a couple of times under Eli Manning and Tom Coughlin. So it's possible. I mean, anything can happen on any given Sunday. They actually made a movie about it. And so we'll talk about all of these big games this past weekend. The Packers get it together, and they beat the Washington Redskins. How you like that? No more? We got a Kirk Cousins sighting. The real Kirk Cousins, can you stand up? Now, that's the Kirk Cousins I know and love that struggled mightily this weekend. He looked all right a couple of times out there, but Kirk Cousins is not. I don't think Kirk Cousins is a guy you build your organization around. Now, I know the Washington Redskins are going to do it because they have to, because the guy actually did a lot of great things this year, and I'm not taking that away from him. But, I mean, really, like, it seems like his upside is just very, very low. I don't see too much more out of Kirk Cousins. Once again, had a great second half of the season, especially led the league or had the highest completion percentage, I think, in NFL history. So he played fantastic. I just don't know about Kirk Cousins going forward as the Green Bay Packers do get it done. First ball of the day goes to the Green Bay Packers, and the first bust of the day goes to Kirk Cousins. How you like that? How you like that, man? Yeah. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We get into all the playoff action from this weekend on the Doug Stewart Show. I'll take your phone calls if we got any, 404-382-0338. And you know what I do around here if you're an old school Doug Stewart Show listener. We read a lot of your chat. I get a lot of your thoughts, man. A lot of big things went down this weekend. Let's talk about them today. Once again, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Yeah, they put me up in a real nice spot this past weekend in Cali, the Intercontinental. And, breakfast was going for $46. $46. My brother was like, you shouldn't have ordered no breakfast, that's showing that you're greedy. No, I had to eat. That's the cost of living out there. Yes, sir, $46. And all I had was a couple of eggs, some toast, a couple of orange juice, and a little fruit plate. The fruit plate is where they get you. But I don't even eat breakfast meats like that. I don't eat no pork like that, nothing like that. So $45 to eat in L.A. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. All right, when we get back from the break, man, more NFL talk from this past weekend, the playoffs. We continue to get your ballers and your busters all day long. We do birthdays a little bit later. We do top fives. We do all of that type stuff. The funnest show on turf. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
On this, Little Caesar.
Queen Bee. That's me.
Check it. Yo, I be buying these, so all my girls be.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. I need your ballers and your busters, your game balls and your goals from this past weekend. There's a lot of them to give out. The Doug Stewart Show is brought to you by ID Life. What is ID Life? ID Life is individualized nutrition. I mean, and that's big. We've actually had a couple of people already sign up for the products. And really, this is such a great relationship with ID Life, man, because obviously I talk sports and a lot of the listeners are concerned with their health and being healthy and getting in shape, especially for the new year. I don't really have to do a lot of selling, and I've never really been a salesman type person with that type of thing. That's the business, advertising and marketing. But this ID Life is so easy because it's a great product, man. Go to thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. If you signed up and I haven't reached back out to you yet, or Sean T. Hill, the person that introduced me to ID Life in the company, we will be back in contact with you today or tomorrow. We actually respond to everybody that signs up for the product, for the business opportunity as well. But bottom line is thedougstewartshow.com is brought to you by thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. They are the title sponsors of the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. Get all the details about ID Life at thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. Yeah, just got confirmation. Little brother Ryan Stewart's going to come on today, a little bit later today on the show, talking about the NFL from this past weekend. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's actually got a big announcement to make. I don't know if he'll make it today on the show. Maybe he's saving it for another time. But so Ryan Stewart, my little brother, is going to come on the show today and give you his thoughts about the NFL action this past weekend. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to hit every single game, obviously. We're going to hit every single game. We'll talk about that Kansas City-Houston game here in a second. Seattle-Minnesota, we'll talk about that as well. And we got to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bungles. Oh, Lord. You got to be kidding me. All right. So we'll save that conversation. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. One last thing about the Green Bay game, man, and the Washington game. You know, Washington had won 4 games in a row, but they lose and they're out in the very first round. You do realize that they end the season without a single victory over a team that finished with a winning record. So we talked about the NFC East all year long and how the NFC East sucked with Dallas, and the Giants really were struggling as well. And Washington found a way to win this division. But I guess the chickens came home to roost, man. They really weren't that good. The quarterback really isn't that good, and they go out in the first round to a struggling Green Bay Packers team. Now, I don't believe Green Bay is going to be successful this coming weekend Green Bay will be on the road taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Seattle Seahawks, who we'll talk about here in a second, they travel to Carolina. So I don't think Green Bay is going to beat Arizona. I really don't believe that. But, yeah, basically the Redskins have been doing it all year long with smoke and mirrors. They didn't have one team with a winning or didn't have win against a winning team this past season. So ball award to the Green Bay Packers. I don't know. Maybe your boy, I mean, he is a two-time MVP. Maybe your boy Aaron Rodgers, man, he gets his mojo back and his receivers start making catches and making plays for him. Maybe that defense steps up. They played great this past weekend. Maybe Eddie Lacy can, keep things together, man, and the Stark kid can keep things together. I don't know. Maybe Green Bay goes on another run. Did Green Bay have a run like this where they kind of shocked people when they won the Super Bowl back in, I think it was 2010? I'm not exactly sure, but maybe they got everything together. Maybe they got their mojo back, and maybe they go out to Arizona and handle their business. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Come on, Doug. First off, it's triple digit.
Triple digit. What up, baby?
You're talking my skins. Whatever. Got to call it.
Hey, for new listeners, to the Doug Stewart Show, the guy on the line right now is triple digit. Probably the biggest Washington Redskins fan that I know. Triple digit. What happened to your boy, baby? What happened to your boys?
7. Before the season, everybody said we were going to win 3-4 games tops, right?
Yeah.
We were the worst team in the NFL.
Right.
We won 9 games. Last year, you're talking about how we didn't beat a team with a winning record.
Yeah.
Last year, we won 4 games. 3 of those games were against teams with winning records.
Right.
And it didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't care who you have in front of you, you beat those teams. The Carolina Panthers are the only team with less teams with winning records, whatever. We played 3 teams that had winning records this year, and I guess now 4. We lost all 4 of those. Carolina had 2, and then this week they'll have their 3rd.
So triple digit. Let me ask you this. So you're right. You guys won your division. You actually hosted a playoff game. I mean, you can't take that away from you. How do you feel about the organization going forward with Jay Gruden, with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback, with that defense? Like, what do you think about the future of the team?
We have a GM for the first time forever. We have a quarterback for the first time in forever.
So you believe in Kirk Cousins? You trust?
And Kirk, I trust right now, yeah. Why not? He has proven he's gotten better every game. He's only had, 20 starts as a quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's still a young guy, and he's 27. He's, in my lifetime, we've had, Joe Theismann for a couple of years. We had Doug Williams for a couple of years. We had Mark Rippon for a couple of years. I've never had that Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, the quarterback that's there for years. I'm just excited. I hope that Kirk is our quarterback for the next 5 to 10 years, whatever it is. I hope Jay Gruden's still there, same time.
So you like Gruden as well? You okay with Jay Gruden?
Before the season, I thought he was a dope. He looks like a dope right on the sideline, but he can coach. The only thing I was upset about is D-Jax when he was, he went out of bounds on the 1-yard line instead of scoring the touchdown. All they have to do is give Cousins, let him just run the ball up the middle instead of, Alfred Morris and then all those different little runs that we tried. Just pound it right up the middle. That's what Tom Brady does. That's what Roethlisberger does.
Yeah.
All you're inches away.
Yeah.
You need to score that touchdown. Whatever. Baller also goes to Alex Ovechkin, first Russian-born player to score 500, and then last night he scored his 501st.
Right.
2 in the same game.
Saw that. I'm not a hockey fan like that, but I did see that.
I know, but he's a DC boy.
Right.
I gotta root for that. And a baller to my Redskins just for a heck of a season. Baller to my Terps just for 13-1, the best start in school history. Looking forward to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Our second title this year. And no busters. It's a brand new year. I'm going to be a happy man. A baller to my Madden Stew League. I won my last game of the season.
You did? Wait. Did you win the Super Bowl or what? Just a regular season game?
No, I just won my 5th game of the year. I just bought a PS4 this year, and I sucked. I was horrible, but I didn't lose by 100 points again this year. So it was good.
Awesome.
I beat the Cowboys on the last game of the season. So
awesome.
That made me feel good.
Hey, Triple Digit, thank you for the call. And the reason why, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, the reason why his name is Triple Digit, this is no lie, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, about it's probably been about 10 years now, we started the Two Live Stews Madden Football League. We actually played an entire season. We got 32 guys, 32 volunteers that wanted teams. Each person had their own team. We played that actual schedule from that year, that first year of the Two Live Stews Madden Football League. All right, we got a commissioner and all of that stuff. I mean, we took it probably a little bit too serious, and they still do. But my man Triple Digit, he got his name because he actually got beat by triple digits in an actual Madden football game. And so the name just stuck forever, Triple Digit. Yeah, congratulations, man. In relative terms, and he's right, it's a new year. He's happy with it as Washington Redskins did, man. Nobody expected them to win the division. Nobody expected them to be in the playoffs. So you're right. I mean, if you're looking at it from a positive standpoint, they did some big things this year. The Seattle Seahawks, they beat the Minnesota Vikings 10-9 in just a slugfest in all types of horrible 5-degree below zero weather. So Ball Award to the Seahawks. Buster Award to my man Big Vince, Big Smooth's Minnesota Vikings, in particular to Blair Walsh, the kicker for the Minnesota Vikings. You missed a 27-yard field goal, bruh. Like, and I don't know, I never really thought about it. I should have looked at this before the show started. If you saw this game and this play, the depth, the perception of that field goal was almost kind of like an extra point. Not this year's extra point, because, you know, they moved the extra point mark back, the ball back before they kicked the extra point. I'm talking about old school extra point. And you miss it, you hook it to the left. Blair Walsh, you are a buster, man. And I always talk about the love-hate relationship, and I'm not the only one, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm not the only one. You've heard several players in the past, former players, present-day players, talk about the love-hate relationship with a kicker. All they do is kick. That's all they do. And everybody else is in practice, butting heads, doing Oklahoma drills, killing each other, you know, little instant car crashes every other play. All kickers do is they kick. And I don't care about no damn laces, the guy, the holder had the laces turned the wrong way or whatever. I don't care about a damn lace. Make the damn 27-yard field goal, man. Are you kidding me? Let's talk more about this when we get back from the break. This deserves more time. And if my man Big Smooth is out there listening, bruh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I didn't have a dog in the fight. Hell, both the quarterbacks were black. I didn't care who won. Yeah. I mean, damn. I thought it would have been cool for Minnesota to win and go to the next round of the playoffs. And y'all just give away the cookies, man. I mean, that sucks, man. I actually feel bad for y'all, and I'm not a Minnesota Viking fan. I'm not. Speaking of Minnesota and the Vikings, when we get back from the break, I'm going to give a special Buster Award. I'm going to give a special Buster Award to somebody that no one's even really talking about from what happened yesterday in this game, man. We got a special Buster Award going out to a Minnesota Viking. I'll tell you more about that. We will talk more about the games, Ballers and Busters. We'll even do a little bit of birthdays, man. I'll get into some of your chat. We got a lot of stuff to do. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. My God. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidators nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Hold that tiger. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. Ballers and busters, that's what we're doing today. Go Clemson! Hold that tiger! Hold that tiger! Hey, welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Quickly, some birthdays today before we jump back into the sports, and I'll give out a special Buster Award. Kim Coles turns 54 years old today. Happy birthday to Kim Coles. You know who she is. Living Single. She was one of the chicks on Living Single. She fine. Kind of kooky, big-boned it. Not really fat, but big-boned it. Tony Allen turns 34 years old today. Happy birthday to Tony Allen, Memphis Grizzly. Happy birthday to him. Ooh. And this last one really scares me, man. If you're a child of the 70s like myself, you remember this guy's name. The great Abdullah the Butcher turned 75 years old today. Like, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We're brought to you by ID Life. What is ID Life? ID Life is nutrition with a kid's line of nutritional products. I mean, ID Life got it going on, man. Trust me, if you want to get all the details and see and read about this product, man, go to the DougStewartShow.idlife.com. If you're a kid that grew up in the 70s, man, and you were a wrestling fan like myself, and I did say wrestling, not wrestling, you remember Abdullah the Butcher, man. I think Abdullah the Butcher is the only person that I was really actually scared of in real life. Like a TV guy, you know, I know TV is TV. They can't come in there and get me as an 8-year-old kid or whatever. But I actually was scared. Whenever I saw Abdullah the Butcher, I was scared of Abdullah, man. And if you old school wrestling, you remember this Saturday morning, man, and I know it's on YouTube, and damn it, I should have went and made sure that it's on YouTube. But I'm going to bet you 100% that it's on YouTube. One Saturday morning, man, the great Wahoo McDaniel, rest in peace, was wrestling. I don't know, against maybe one of them Funk Junior boys or something like that. And Wahoo was just minding his own business, man. And Abdullah came out of nowhere from the dressing room, as they used to do back in the day. Came from the dressing room, man, with a freaking fork. It was a fork or it was an ice pick or something like that. And Abdullah came into the ring, man, and started jugging that cat. And when I say jug is a country term for like jabbing at him. He started jugging Wahoo McDaniel in the head. And evidently it was real bloody, but they kept blacking the screen out. Like they kept doing some type of editing feature where every time that he'd jug him in the head, that they'd black the screen out. And Tony Schiavone or whoever it was at the time, oh no, Abdullah the Butcher is going crazy. He's going to kill Wahoo McDaniel. Can we get security out here? Can we get security? He's going to kill Wahoo. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. He's going to absolutely kill Wahoo McDaniel. The tyranny of it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And Abdullah commenced to jugging Wahoo McDaniel in the head for, I know, 5, 6, 7 minutes. And now this is probably like 77, 78 or something like that, man. So I'm about 8, 9 years old, man, and I'm absolutely horrified. Sitting in my living room watching one of my favorite wrestlers, the great Wahoo McDaniel, get jugged to death. And then you top it off, probably about 10 years ago, and you know, Wahoo, not Wahoo, but Abdullah, he actually has a rib joint here in Atlanta. That's no lie. That's no lie. The great Abdullah the Butcher has a rib shop here in Atlanta, man. I wouldn't eat anything out of Abdullah's place. But anyway, evidently, his rib shop is off the chain. It's over on the southwest side of town. It's in the Swats. And if you remember Abdullah from back in the day as well, he used to come to the ring, and he used to have, like, raw liver and eat it, like in front of the crowd and on national TV. So now I always thought Abdullah was nasty and foul anyway. But anyway, he has a rib joint here in Atlanta, and we had him on the show on the 2 Live Stews, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show right now. We had him on the show, man, and Ryan made some mention about, wrestling is fake. And you know how those cats go with that. They defend wrestling's honor till the very end. And Abdullah threatened Ryan's life. He said he was going to come down there and kill him. And when he said that, I was like, he might try to do it. So he didn't come down and do it, obviously, man. But happy birthday to Abdullah, I guess. 75 years old, you old freak, scoundrel. Please don't tell him I said that. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I talked about it before we went to the break. The Minnesota game, man, just unfortunate, man. I feel bad for Minnesota Vikings fan. I hate to see a team lose like that. Minnesota won the damn game. And this kid, Blair Walsh, man, he just pissed it away, missing a 27-yard field goal. How do you do that? Okay? So bad all around. But I want to give a Buster Award to, and not to who you think. And I know a lot of you, I saw somebody mention it on the chat, that I was going to come on and clown this particular person. But I don't want to give the Buster Award to Bud Grant, per se. I want to give the Buster Award to Bud Grant's family and his supposed friends. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So if you don't know who Bud Grant is, Bud Grant, once again from my youth, Bud Grant was the longtime coach of the Minnesota Vikings. The man is 88 years old right now. Yesterday, before the game, he came out and he was the ceremonial captain and all of this. This is a big to-do. He walked out there as a ceremonial captain. He's 88 once again. He's all hunched over. Clearly got some type of scoliosis or whatever, man. And that's not funny for me to make fun of Bud Grant's scoliosis. But anyway, he was all humped over, man, walked out in the field to do this ceremonial coin flip. Now, I told you he's 88 years old. The man did this coin flip and didn't have on a coat. Wait. Not only did he not have on a coat, the man didn't have on a sweater, a hoodie, nothing like that. The man walked out there with a golf shirt on with his bare arms hanging out. He's 88 years old, for God's sake. So Bud Grant's family, his kids, his wife, if she's still alive, his friends, everybody that says they love Bud Grant, let him walk out on the field, and it was 6 below zero That's the other big part of the story. It was 6 below zero, and they let this 88-year-old man hunched over with scoliosis walk out in the field with no damn jacket on. Buster Award to Bud Grant's friends, so-called friends and family. You remember on the Two Live Stews, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You remember on the Two Live Stews, probably about 10 years ago as well, because we've been out of the game for a minute here. Hopefully not much longer. About 10 years ago, man, we had the great Buck O'Neil. I think it's the Kansas City Monarchs, professional Negro League baseball player legend. We had him on the show, and so we kind of like forged a friendship with him. We had him on several times. And you remember the great Buck O'Neil went out and signed like a one-day contract with whatever team the Monarchs were affiliated with. I'm going to guess Kansas City, the Royals or whatever. And he went out there, man, and like signed a one-day deal and became officially the oldest baseball player in the history of baseball to go out and take a pitch or sign a contract, nothing. And Ryan really went crazy that week after we talked about the story. He's like, man, that's not good. You're not the same person when you're that old. But, I mean, and he was probably in his 80s as well. And Ryan clowned him, and I was like, man, don't clown that old man, this, that, and the other. He's going to be fine. All he did was just run to first base. And remember, he had his jeans pulled up to his chest, and he had his baseball jersey tucked in his pants, and you could see, like, his testicles and all of that stuff. The man was 90-something years old. And sure as my name ain't Sam, within a week, the great Buck O'Neil was dead, climbing Jacob's ladder. Now, I hope I'm wrong, and you listen to the Doug Stewart Show. I hope I'm wrong. But the clock is ticking right now on Bud Grant. How many days after walking out on the field with no jacket on, no coat, no sweater, no hoodie, no nothing, how many more days do you think the great Bud Grant has on this earth before he kicks the bucket because of some type of pneumonia in his bones? The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking right now, man, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that, this is just some interesting conversation on the Doug Stewart Show, and hopefully the great Bud Grant lives another 20 years. He's one of them people that lives into their hundreds. I hope that's the case. But you just can't walk out in minus 6-degree weather with nothing on your damn arms. Like my grandmother used to say, you put something on your arms. You can't walk out into negative 6-degree weather with nothing on your arms. You 88 years old. You can't do it and expect to survive more than a week. That was probably a little bit too much just now. That was probably a little bit too much just now. And I apologize. Bud Grant's going to be okay. Hopefully. The Buster Award, for the record, once again, I'm putting this out there and make sure you understand what I'm saying. I'm not giving an actual Buster Award to Bud Grant. I'm giving it to his friends, his supposed friends and family, because they know better. I mean, he old as hell. That was his thing back in the day. No matter how cold it was, we don't put on jackets. We're manly men. That's stupid, Bud Grant. That's stupid. And it's bad that his family and friends, supposed once again, family and friends let him do it. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we'll talk more about these playoff games. We got to get into the conversation about the national championship game tonight. We'll take calls. We'll do it all, man, on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Doug Stewart here to tell you about the folks at Strickland Security and one of their new security services. As I've told you before, these guys are your security experts. But what you didn't know is that they also handle security coverage for celebrities and special events here in Atlanta. Due to popular demand, the team at Strickland Security has created Celebrity Night Out Security Transportation Service. Want to impress the wife or girlfriend? Want to make sure your wife or your daughter is safe while out on the town with friends? You need this service. With a Celebrity Night Out service, 2 licensed and trained security professionals in black suits will pick you up in a black SUV and will deliver you and your party to your destination. These trained professionals can either stay by your side during the evening or wait for you outside. With these guys, you can truly relax and enjoy yourself because they're going to ensure your safe return home. Uber is a great service, but let's face it, they don't have your back if something goes wrong. In other words, if something pops off, they gone. So, whether you're planning something special, attending a holiday party, or just looking to have a stress-free night on the town, contact the team at Strickland Security and ask them about the Celebrity Night Out service. Trust me on this one. You will look and feel like a true celebrity or the president and the first lady. Yes, sir. Contact Strickland Security at 800-422-9075 or StricklandSecurity.com. That's StricklandSecurity.com. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday, ballers and busters, game balls and goats. That's what we doing today, man. A lot to give out. I mean, so much to give out on a weekend where I've taken off a couple of days and you have all these big stories going down the world of sports. Really tough on a 2-hour show, man, but we'll cram in as much as we can. We're going to talk to my little brother, Ryan Evan Stewart. Probably shouldn't have given out his whole government name there. So we'll talk to him in a little bit here in a second. The Doug Stewart Show is brought to you by ID Life. That's right. If you want to get more information about ID Life, man, and all of its products, the DougStewartShow.idlife.com is where you do that at. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Giving out these balls and busters. Buster Award, I guess to a degree, to Adrian Peterson. Costly fumble yesterday in the game against the Seahawks. So Blair Walsh, Adrian Peterson kind of falter, and they had fumbles, and they missed 27-yard field goals. How do you miss a 27-yard field goal? When I'm watching this, I'm like, it's a foregone conclusion that the game is over. You know, I mean, a 27-yard field goal, that's a quote-unquote chip shot. Walsh became the 4th Vikings kicker to miss a field goal in the past 20 postseasons. Morton Anderson had a 27-yard field goal blocked in the 2004 wild card round. Gary Anderson missed a 38-yard field goal wide left in the 1998 NFC Championship game against the Atlanta Falcons. Y'all remember that. And I believe at the time when Gary Anderson missed that field goal, he hadn't missed a field goal all year long. Ooh, this hurts. And I saw somebody calling the show just now, and I wasn't able to grab it. I missed it. And I'm going to bet it's my man, Big Vince. Vince Wright from Minnesota, who's a big-time Vikings fan and Minnesota sports fan. Call back if you got a chance. We'll take your call here in a second. So Gary Anderson missed a 38-yard field goal wide left in the 98 NFC Championship game, once again against the Falcons. The Falcons went to the Super Bowl, and they lost to the Denver Broncos. And Eddie Murray missed a 48-yarder in the 1997 wild card game as well. So, I mean, just a horrible, horrible day if you're a Minnesota Vikings sports fan, man. Seattle goes on to play Carolina next week. Carolina had a first-round bye this past weekend. Obviously, them and the Arizona Cardinals, man. I mean, just incredible, man. And I keep telling people, all Carolina's got to do is win 2 games. And technically, to be honest with you, Carolina's not playing the real winner. I mean, they're playing the winner, but for all intents and purposes, man, Minnesota won the damn game. So I think Carolina's going to roll over Seattle. I'll tell you that right now. And Seattle has the pedigree, obviously, going to the Super Bowl over the last couple of years. Russell Wilson has been playing fantastic. Didn't play that great yesterday, to be honest with you. But, I mean, it's hard to play great in those conditions, I believe. Okay, it's just hard. But Carolina should roll next week. And then Carolina's going to have to beat either Arizona or they're going to have to beat Minnesota or Arizona or Green Bay. I don't think that's going to be too hard of a problem at home as well. Carolina's sitting real pretty right now, man. They take on Seattle. We'll see. Now, listen, the Seahawks have been fantastic, obviously, over the last couple of years. They're getting their pieces back healthy right now. Cam Chancellor, they get back the defensive back. I can't remember his name right now that had been out the entire year or the last couple of weeks. They got him back. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But Buster Award, man, to Blair Walsh once again, man. I mean, how could you, son? How could you? My gosh. And Buster Award to Bud Grant's people, man, for allowing that man to come out there 88 years old with nothing on his arms. Let's grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, Sports Governor Vince Frank, great state of Minnesota. What's up?
Vince, man, how you doing, man?
Oh,
how you making it today, brother?
Well, let's just say I got 2 empty bottles of Patron at the crib, man. I'm doing all right otherwise.
Vince, man, and you've been listening, I'm sure. You heard me say it earlier, man. I don't got a dog in the fight between Seattle and Minnesota, man. But I hate to see teams, man, and especially loyal fans and Vikings fans and Minnesota sports fans in general are like some of the best fans in sports, man. I just hate to see that happen to y'all yesterday, man.
Hey, Doug, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it was rough, especially for the Vikings. You know, the defense was solid. They kept us in the game, and that last drive where we got down there, man, it was right there for the taking. But there it is, them kickers, boy. And I don't know what to say. Like I said, 2 bottles of Patron later, I'm still messed up.
We're talking to the host of Sports Done Right. You get it? Right, WRIGHT. My man, Big Vince from Minnesota, man. He has a show on the Spreaker Network as well. Good stuff. I mean, what was your, like, when you were sitting there watching this game, I don't know, did you go to the game, first of all? Did you go to the game?
No, Doug. I would have been in the hot tub watching the game yesterday.
Okay, so you're watching this game, man, and when they're lining up for the chip shot field goal to win the game with, 22 seconds left, there's not a thought in your mind that he misses this, right? Even with all of the things that have happened in the past with the kickers missing field goals in the playoffs for the Vikings, even he couldn't miss that, right? That's what you're saying in your mind, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying in my mind, Doug. Doug, I ain't going to lie to you, man. I was literally grabbing my cell phone to call my friend in Phoenix to see if he wanted to go to the game next week.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah, Doug, man, these people, it's 98 all over again. It's Gary Anderson all over again. On a personal level, I feel real bad for Blair Walsh. He lost it in the locker room yesterday, but, man, you only had one job to do, as they say, Doug.
You got one job!
One.
You got one job.
Listen, yeah, Doug, listen, I know you got to move the show along. I just wanted to say what up to all the Stu Nation out there, Run CNC, RC up in northern Minnesota. Vikings will be back, y'all. We will be back. And other than that, Doug, good luck to your Clemson Tigers, brother. Stay cool.
Appreciate it. There he is, the sports governor. the host of Sports Done Right, WRIGHT. Vince, I hope you didn't have nothing to do with Bud Grant coming out there with no damn sleeves over his arms and whatnot. I almost cussed just now, too. But, yeah, Vikings go down. That's just a horrible, horrible way to lose a game. Ball award to the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid are for real this year as they kick the dog doo-doo out of the Houston Texans. You talk about Fugazi? Houston Texans Fugazi, man. I mean, a couple of key injuries. J.J. Watt gets injured. He tears his groin muscle. That's actually what happened to Ryan, to my brother Ryan, that put him out of the NFL. He tore his groin muscle and could never recover from it. So there's not been a lot of conversation about that, but that's a serious injury. J.J. Watt, he plays good for the first half of the game. They really stay in it, but then he hurts it to the point where he can't come back in the game. The later part of the game, Jadeveon Clowney didn't even play in the game because of an injury. And the Kansas City Chiefs, the opening kickoff, man, they run the kickoff back 106 yards, 30-0, and a Buster Award to Brian Hoyer. Damn. And I guess he played solid to help them win games, to get them to this position in the playoffs this year, to make it to the playoffs. But, man, there's been a lot of bad quarterback play, man. There's been a lot of guys that I looked at this year and was like, how the hell is this guy in the NFL? And shame on the Houston Texans for believing in Brian Hoyer. He's a journeyman. He's not a backup he's not a starting quarterback. He's a backup quarterback. And I guess they couldn't do anything better. I get that. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I get that. But my gosh, how do you go into the season with Brian Hoyer as your starting quarterback? Like, at that point, don't you make a phone call to Randall Cunningham or Warren Moon or Joe Montana or somebody old like that? Steve DeBerg. Remember Steve DeBerg played like 70 years in the NFL? Vince Evans. Don't you make a call to a veteran quarterback that's retired? Like, don't you call Brett Favre in that situation? How can you go into the season with Brian Hoyer as your starting quarterback? Seriously. Now, once again, it's really a testament to how good this team's defense was and how solid they were coaching-wise and special teams-wise, you know, the other facets of the game, that you made it to the playoffs, that you won the AFC South division as the Houston Texans. Because Brian Hoyer sucks. Throw just despicable, and I mean despicable interceptions yesterday, man. 4 interceptions. He had a fumble. I mean, just horrible. Like Brian Hoyer, Zach Mettenberger, Ryan Mallett. How in the hell are these guys in the NFL? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. How? How are these guys in the NFL? Like, how does Brian Hoyer, not only is Brian Hoyer on a team, and you know the guy's a backup. He's a journeyman. He's a backup. Not only is Brian Hoyer on a team, but he's starting. So how does Brian Hoyer start in the NFL? And Vince Young is on somebody's couch watching TV, eating bonbons, getting fat. Explain that one to me. Yeah. How does Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett, and Ryan Mallett just got another job. How does Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett, and Metzenberger continue to draw checks in the NFL, and Vince Young is at home, once again, getting fat? Makes no sense to me, man. Now, when you get back from the break, man, hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, and it's time. It's time to talk about what happened in the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game. I'll give you my thoughts on that, man. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to miss this. I'll give you my thoughts, man. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies. made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Man, and you know, I've said it many, many times before. I never really had a team in the NFL that I actually rooted for when I was a kid. I wasn't a Dallas Cowboy fan or a Pittsburgh Steelers fan or anything like that. Being from South Carolina, we didn't have our own team. But I can only imagine, man, because the season's so long and there's so much on the line. You know, as a diehard fan of a team, man, I can only imagine how much it hurts to be one and done in the playoffs. I can only imagine how much it hurts to be a Houston Texans fan. Your emotions are high. You got a home field advantage. You got, you know, a home game in the playoffs, and you lay an egg like they did this past weekend. Can you imagine being a long-suffering Minnesota Vikings fan and to lose a game in the fashion that those dudes did this past weekend? Can you imagine? Can you imagine, like, you're a guy that actually put on 25 layers of clothes, unlike Bud Grant, and you actually pay for tickets. You go out there and you brave the weather and the elements to lose a game like that? That's got to hurt. Ball award to Chris Conley, man, wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, former Georgia Bulldog. Gets a big touchdown, 9-yard touchdown reception this past weekend as once again Kansas City just destroys Houston. So ball award to him. Jeremy Maclin, man, Pray for that brother. It looks like he, I hate to even say the words, man. It looks like that he had another injury to his knee this past weekend. You know he's already torn his ACL twice, once in college, once in the NFL. Didn't look good. Didn't look good. He was on the sidelines crying, man. Buster Award to the injury guy. Or to the injury god. Buster Award to the injury god. Hopefully it's not that case. And every once in a while, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, every once in a while, you know, a guy will look like that he tore that ACL, but he doesn't. But based on his history, man, it's not a good look right now. Buster Award, man, to Vontaze Burfict, linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I hate to do it because he's an Atlanta guy. And I understand you get caught up in the emotions, but I have to give a Buster Award as well to Adam Pac-Man Jones. Let's break this thing down. You know the story. Pittsburgh Steelers win the game 18-16, come from behind win. The Cincinnati Bengals had this game locked up. And Jeremy Hill, well, first of all, Burfict gets an interception, runs out of the stadium like some type of crazed maniac. You know he has a history with the NFL and being fined all of these for all of these penalties, these hits, these illegal hits in today's NFL. So he runs out of the stadium like he's a madman and comes back, and the Shazier kid just strips Jeremy Hill, fumbles the ball. Pittsburgh gets the ball back to score a touchdown. But before all of that, let's talk about the first couple of things in this whole scenario with Vontaze Burfict and Pac-Man Jones. So Burfict basically, Antonio Brown crossed the middle, reaches for a ball, misses it, and Vontaze Burfict just runs straight through his head with the shoulder pad. He didn't use the crown of his helmet like the Shazier play. We'll talk about that here in a second. He uses the shoulder pads, but the difference is, and a lot of people are saying that was a good hit. Yeah, that was a great hit 15, 20 years ago, but not in 2015. You cannot hit anybody high. In effect, shoulder or above. You can't hit anybody like that. So Burfict blew it on that. He gets a Buster Award for that. You just got to know better. You're a team leader. You're a fantastic player. I mean, he's a fantastic player. He is. I mean, he's the type dude you want on your team. But you want him to play with more sensibility. You got to tone it down. I remember when we were online and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I never forget it. Everything we went through to become Omegas, man. I'm not going to get into details, but there's certain things you just don't forget. The first three things that we learned online that we had to learn by memory, we had to learn a little, it's not even a poem, but it's like a couple of lines. One was time, which was, I hesitate to articulate for fear that I may deviate from my given course of rectitude, therefore I wish the time to be. So the Bros were big on time, okay? Another one we learned was discipline, okay? Discipline. Discipline is the instant willing obedience to orders, self-reliance, and teamwork, sir. In discipline, man. Your boy Marvin Lewis, man, he hadn't instilled in these guys discipline. And you could see it happening before it even happened, that they were going to self-destruct, and they did it. I can't believe that they did it. They had the game won. And I don't know if this even hurts more than what happened in the Minnesota game, because you pissed it away yourself. So the hit on Antonio Brown, as much as I hate the new rules today, that's the way they were going to call that. A defenseless receiver, you hit him high, you got to be smarter than that. You got to have more discipline. You got to be smarter than that, bruh. And once again, I don't have a dog in the fight. You know, hey, I think it's kind of cool to see the Cincinnati Bengals advance in the playoffs. They haven't done it in so long. So he blows it on that. And then the whole skirmish when your boy Joey Porter from the Steelers comes on. He's a coach. He comes on the field, which is wrong as hell. The officials kind of lost control of this game. They deserve a lot of the blame as well. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Joey Porter's out there, and I guess You know, this type of scenario has played itself out in the past where assistant coach comes on the field, but he's a defensive coach. Antonio Brown's an offensive player. What the hell is he doing out there? So these guys take umbrage. They say, when I say they, I'm talking about the Cincinnati Bengals defensive players. They say Joey Porter's coming out there and insinuating a riot, talking ish to them, cursing at them, screaming at them. Like, man, get out of here. And here comes Pac-Man Jones, Atlanta's finest, Pac-Man Jones. You know, throwing up $100 bills, Pac-Man Jones in the strip club. He reaches over and kind of like pushes at Joey Porter. I don't know if he actually makes contact with him. I guess he kind of does. And they throw a flag. So you got two 15-yard penalties, 30 yards in penalties. In less than a minute, it was like third down and long or fourth down when that play occurred as well. And they just freaking put Pittsburgh in field goal range. They kick a field goal, and the Pittsburgh Steelers advance in the playoffs. All because of some dumbass, and there's no other way to say it. And I get it. I get it. Back in the day, that hit that Burfict made wasn't an illegal hit. And also Joey Porter kind of, once again, he kind of flamed the fires with those guys in their anger and caused them to get these penalties. I get it. But it's just, in the famous words of Fred Sanford, you're just dumb, son. You're just dumb. And now the beautiful season that the Cincinnati Bengals and Marvis Lewis had going is just for naught. It's just gone. You got to be better than that, man. You got to be better than that. And I kind of hate it for Bengals fans, just same way I hate it for Vikings fans, and the same way I hate it for Texans fans, that you just show up and you lose in those circumstances, man. But they did it to themselves. This is a little bit different than those other two cases. They did it to themselves, man. Just don't do it to yourself. We had this thing we used to say back in the day when I was growing up. Don't do it to me. Right. If somebody was trying to get over on you or somebody was trying to do you wrong or whatever, we just say, man, don't do it to me. Don't do what to you. Whatever it is, just don't do it to me. And they did it to themselves, man. 404-382-0338. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Dollars and cents, baby. You know, the number one Steelers fan.
Dollars and cents. What up, baby? Happy New Year.
Thank you, brother. You too. Hey, I won't hijack the show this time, man.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you know what? I'm going to say we're fortunate to not only back our way to the playoffs, but actually to come out with a victory.
Now you're a Steelers fan.
I am a huge Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Huge Steelers fan. But it looked like a scene from The Longest Yard out there, man. You remember that movie?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The old school one with Burt Reynolds or Adam Sandler. Which one you talking about?
Man, I got to go to old school one because they was just doing all kinds of crazy stuff out there.
Yeah.
You know. So the one thing I will say again though is that you know, Joey Porter has always been a hothead, but you know, Joey Porter can do work. You know, he's been known to fight all the time.
Yeah.
But the problem is Burfict. That hit was clearly late.
Right.
Clearly. I mean, we're talking.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, he was actually in the process. He was already kind of leaned over to make the tackle. I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and that's part of the reason why the flag was thrown as well. But I think that was more closer than a lot of you, especially a lot of you Pittsburgh Steelers fans would think.
Well, Doug, I'm saying that they missed the hit that Shazier put. I call that one a dirty hit. More so, you know, I mean, they missed that. They let that go.
Yeah.
Shazier knocked Giovanni Bernard's ass out. But, you know, again, here's the problem with Pac-Man Jones. He came late to the situation on the field, as if the other linebackers or whoever couldn't handle Joey Porter. That's the problem. That, you know, he gets the 15 yards. Instead of telling Joey to, you know, get his ass off the field, he comes late, and he's supposed to be protecting Burfict and all these other guys when they can handle their own. And one other thing, Doug, I'd like for you to check out the video of Burfict when he tackles Big Ben. He actually knees him in the shoulder.
Yeah, I saw it.
Now, so, okay. But, you know, there's a such thing as playing hard, but then there's a thing as, you know, you're taking it over the edge, and they had that game won. They had it won. I was about to be joining Vince sipping, But, luckily they gave the game to Pittsburgh, and my man did make a field goal. So other than that, Doug, thank you very much, brother. Show's great. Congratulations on your future endeavors, brother.
Appreciate it. That's my man CNC, man. Yeah, if you look at the video when Burfict slammed Ben Roethlisberger, and that's another big issue that the Steelers are going to have to contend with. Is Ben healthy? He actually came back in the game, led the drive to get in the field goal range to kick the field goal. Is he healthy? Because if they don't have Ben Roethlisberger, there's going to be a question about Antonio Brown with the concussion protocol. If they don't have those two guys, they might not. They shouldn't even go and play the damn game. I mean, seriously. Because the Steelers' defense played good this past weekend. That Shazier kid made the incredible play to strip away Jeremy Hill, which I don't know how that happens. I kind of blame Marvin Lewis for something like that happening because you have to pull everybody to the sideline. It's like, dude, we're going to give you this ball, but you can't fumble it. We're going to win this game. They were under 2 minutes. We are going to win this game. You can't fumble the ball, but guess what? Players make plays. And the play that Shazier made, man, was the type of thing that I always talked about that separates good players from great players. Dude makes plays. Something that Keith Brookin, former Atlanta Falcon, never did. He never did nothing like that. He was a pile jumper. Big-time players make big-time plays. And the Steelers made some big-time plays. When we get back from the break, man, we're going to talk to my brother Ryan Evan, get his thoughts on the NFL from this past weekend. Boy, the Steelers, boy. It'll probably come to an end next week, though. We'll see. We'll talk more about it. We'll get my brother Ryan's takes on all the action this past weekend, get his thoughts on the national championship game tonight. Can't wait to go see my Clemson Tigers get it done tonight against Alabama. I did say my. Hey, don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. If you're not Stewart, what the hell are you doing, Doug Stewart? TheDougStewartShow.com. The show is brought to you by ID Life. What is ID Life? ID Life is an industry game changer. ID Life is the Netflix of nutrition. Individualized nutrition. Get yourself together in 2016 and take care of your health, man. Go to TheDougStewartShow.idlife.com. Once again, TheDougStewartShow.idlife.com. And check out the great package and the great program that ID Life is offering. There's also a business opportunity as well, but I talked about it when we first signed on with ID Life for them to be the title sponsor to the show. I'm more concerned about the products. There's a fantastic business opportunity as well. So go to TheDougStewartShow.idlife.com and get down with ID Life. Joining me right now on the line is my brother, Ryan Stewart, one half of the world-famous Two Live Stews.
What happened this past weekend in the National Football League, sir?
Hey, man, so it sounds like you're doing great today. You want to get right to it. I mean...
Usually I would start off with a joke or end with a joke, but ain't no time for that bullshiggity today. What happened this past weekend, man?
Let's just jump straight to the thing most people are talking about today with you, man. I want to get your thoughts on it. Now, you are known as a hothead a lot of times. When you played college, especially at Georgia Tech, you used to get thrown out of games, start little skirmishes or whatever, man. What are your thoughts of what happened at the end of that game between Pittsburgh, man, and the Cincinnati Bengals? What are your thoughts?
Before I get into that, let me say this. One of the reasons why I was a hothead, especially in college, is because I had a mentor that told me every time I got a 15-yard penalty for hitting somebody late or throwing a punch, that he would send me a brand new pair of sneakers.
That's actually not the case, man.
Kid that ain't got no money, man, I wanted sneakers, so every other week I was getting a 15-yard penalty. That comes back to you, Douglas Stewart.
Did I actually say get a penalty, or did I say just, exert and show your toughness? Because I thought that's what scouts wanted to see, and so you can make it to the next level, which actually worked out for you.
I've never chastised you or said that you were wrong for doing what you did and what you said, but you said if I get a flag for a late hit or throwing a punch, you would send me sneakers. And it worked. It was brilliant. Back to this game, man. Back to this game. Incredible football game. I swear on everything that I own, I picked all 4 games right this weekend for one reason.
You did.
I always look at the quarterback, the defense, and the coach before I pick a game. Now, the points sometimes doesn't fall that way, but the winner typically goes that way. When Bustick, or whatever that kid's name is, intercepted that last ball and ran 75 yards all the way down the field and into the locker room, waving at the opposing team as if the game was over, I looked at my boy Mike D and I said, he just screwed up. There's still close to 2 minutes left in this ball game. What in the hell is he doing?
Right.
It doesn't work that way, Doug.
Right.
You have to finish ball games. You have to keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, and you have to act like a professional. And the Cincinnati Bengals reverted back to the Cincinnati Bengals 3 or 4 years ago with number 55 and number 24, and that's what cost them the game. They played a better game, Doug. They played a better game, but they lost their minds, and when that happens, you will lose a ball game. It's just that simple.
Now you came from old school, football play on the field, man, and we did Oklahoma drill all day and night like it wasn't nothing running into people. That's probably the issues that we're going to have with this CTE and stuff, both you and me. But what did you think about the hit? And the rules have changed today. We know that. Let's just throw that out there. The rules have changed. What did you think about the hit Burfict on Antonio Brown? Do you think that deserved a penalty?
You and I talked about this, man, and you know what I'm dealing with my head and my body. 5 years ago, man, that's a great hit, and everybody is showing him love and kissing his behind and telling him how great he is for such an impact hit, okay? But in today's game, and the players should know it by now because they get fined $25,000 for that hit. In today's game, the NFL and the people that govern the NFL are trying to do all they can to save a league that generates $9 to $12 billion a year. I've seen several guys in the NFL, safeties and linebackers especially, that make the hit but pull off so they don't have that kind of hit to get that kind of fine and that penalty. I'm not mad at the hit, but knowing today's game and knowing that situation,
yeah,
it was dumb as hell. Look, man, when Big Ben came back walking out on that field, I went crazy in my basement like, oh, my God, if he's coming back, where was he the last few minutes? He should have always been out there, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
When Perfect made that hit and Pac-Man did what he did, they gave the opposing team 30 yards worth of penalties to kick that field goal, man. And in today's game, you just can't do it. You got to know the situation, and you got to be a freaking pro, man. And Pac-Man and Perfect did not do those two things.
Talking to Ryan Stewart, one half of the world-famous Two Live Stews on the Doug Stewart Show. I almost think that it should have been kind of like offsetting penalties with the whole Pac-Man and Joey Porter thing. Because Porter shouldn't have been out there, but Pac-Man got to know better than that, man. He's a veteran.
Pac-Man has to know better, man. And you and I used to have Joey Porter on the show all the time. I'm real cool with Joey. As a matter of fact, I talked to him yesterday, late last night. It's simple, man. Joey Porter is going to be fined by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to be fined an enormous amount of money, I'm sure. But what you won't hear about, Doug, is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are probably going to pay the freaking fine. Mm-hmm. What he did was an asset to them getting down that field, okay?
Yeah.
And was it planned? Was it scripted? No. Porter is a fiery guy. He was a fiery player. He's a fiery coach. He's a get-in-your-face kind of guy. And the emotions of the game takes over everybody on the sideline of an NFL game. So he's being chastised for what he did, but he's also being applauded and patted on the back from his organization right now.
Before we jump to this Clemson-Alabama game tonight, Chiefs, Texans blowout. Packers handled their business against the Redskins. You picked all of these games right once again. Kudos to you for that. Last thing about the NFL, man, the Vikings lose this game against the Seahawks. Blair Walsh misses a 27-yard field goal. I can't remember your thought and your opinion on kickers, but you got one stinking job, man. How do you miss a 27-yard field goal? What would have been happening in the locker room if he was a Lions kicker and he played with you back in the day? What would have been said to this guy in the locker room, man?
Blanket party, and I would have been the one to cut the lights off and the one to throw the blanket, man. Blanket party, man. You're talking about the Minnesota Vikings, who are a team that hasn't had much success here lately. They're a real strong team. They played the better football game. It's just that simple. I missed the kick, Doug, because before he kicked it, I had about 8 people in my basement. Before he kicked it, I went outside and took the dog outside to use the bathroom because the game was over.
Right.
And I come back and everybody's going crazy like, you missed it, you missed it, you missed it. It can't be done, man. It can't be done. The dude was like 33 or 34 at that time for field goals less than 35 yards. It can't be done, man. And if he didn't get a blanket party, I'm ashamed of everybody that lives and works in Minnesota.
All right, man, before we get you out of here, national championship game tonight, man. It's been since 1981. The Clemson Tigers, man, back in the national championship game, taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama's a 7-point favorite. We talked about it on the Two Live Stews this past Saturday morning on 640 WGST. But for my listeners, man, what are your thoughts on this game tonight?
Guido called me twice asking me what I want to do for this game because he knows I always call him on big games, but I hadn't called him. And the reason why I'm not going to call Guido is because I'm torn. I think anybody that puts their money against Alabama is stupid because Nick Saban is coaching for his 5th title and Dabo Swinney is coaching for his 1st. So the money in me says you go with Alabama and you make you a couple of dollars. But the South Carolina fan and the believer in the recruiting that Dabo has done and the football that the Clemson Tigers are playing, I am going with the Clemson Tigers to win this ball game because both defenses are good. Bama's is probably a tad bit better. But offensively, Watson is the difference maker that will find a way to get it done. If Dabo speeds this game up, if Dabo runs no huddle, if Dabo lets Watson have a few audibles where he throws it here, there quick, throws it there, here quick, and then runs here and there, and they keep the ball going down the field and they snap that ball with 18 to 20 seconds on the clock, I think Clemson can win this ball game. If they slow it down, there's no way they'll beat the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm going with Clemson, man, winning a close one, like 27-25, Doug.
Wow.
Like 27-25.
All right, before we get out of here, man, I mentioned earlier, we've talked about it, but you got a big announcement to make. Can you make that announcement on my show about what you got going on next couple of weeks? Or are you trying to save it for another day to tell the world what you got going on, or what?
I usually blast out really important stuff on social media, man, at One Live Stew on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and everything else, man. But, yeah, I will break this news when I can on the Doug Stewart Show, and I'm going to need you and everybody that listens to the Doug Stewart Show, which I think is like 10,000 to 15,000 followers now, man. Congratulations to you. You're doing an outstanding job, man.
10,000 followers, yeah.
I will make this announcement to you on your show before I make it to anybody else.
Great.
Man.
A ratings bonanza. I need that.
God is good. God is amazing, man. And I'm a believer, and no matter what, man, I just know that it's all going to work out to show his glory, man. So that's all I'm going with, man.
Okay, all right. So you're going to make this big announcement on my show.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you my brother. You should. So, stay tuned. We got a big announcement from Ryan, man, coming up here in the next couple of days and weeks. So stay tuned. Hey, thanks for the time, sir.
Always look at the quarterbacks, the defense, and the coaches before you pick a football game, sir.
Yeah. There he is. Ryan Stewart. Raised that man from a little pollywog to a bullfrog. And he does have some huge news coming up here soon, man. So, y'all stay tuned to the Doug Stewart Show, man, and we'll tell you about that down the road, all right? Praise his holy name. Did some big things this past week, man, in L.A. Nobody stopped me on the way out and says, hey, we want to offer you a job, but that's fine. I still need y'all to pray for your boy. Yes, sir. Yeah. Knocked it out of the box. So we'll see. The return of the Stewart boys coming up. All right, when we get back from the break, man, all I'm going to do is read your chat. I haven't read chat all day long. I'll read chat. We'll continue to talk about these games, obviously. And at some point before we get out of here, man, you heard Ryan's thoughts, man. He's picking the Clemson Tigers to shock the world tonight. I'll tell you what I think about it a little bit later today on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
You have the right to remain silent. That means shut up.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. show is brought to you by ID Life. What is ID Life? ID Life is a movement. Go to the DougStewartShow.idlife.com and see all the great products as well as the business opportunity, man. Man, the products are great. Go to the DougStewartShow.idlife.com. Buster Award to Mike Munchak, offensive line coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Reggie Nelson, safety for the Bengals, somehow got on the sideline, and Mike Munchak grabbed his hair like a freaking little third-grade girl. Like, who does that? And he did it in a way, you know, kind of like he was trying to get away with it. Like, dude, we watching you on national TV. They got like 50 cameras on you. You grabbed a grown-ass man's hair and pulled it. You get a Buster Award for that. Steelers win the game, but Munchak gets a Buster Award. What the hell was that? He got to get fined or something like that. So Buster Award to him. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. This segment is brought to you by my folks from Strickland Security. Strickland Security has over 55 years combined experience in the business. They can get you a basic alarm system for your house, starting at just $15 a month. They can even fix your alarm system. A lot of alarm system companies don't want to mess with that type of stuff. It's not enough profit margin in it for them, so they don't even want to return your calls if you're talking about fixing your alarm system. My folks at Strickland Alarm System can do that. Or they can give you the big boy alarm system, man, with all the bells and whistles, cameras, and all of that stuff. Go online and check them out at StricklandSecurity.com. That's StricklandSecurity.com, and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Let me grab a call. I'll give you my thoughts on Clemson and Alabama here in a second, but let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what's happening?
What's up? Who's this?
T from Huntsville, sir.
T from Huntsville! Man, long time no hear from T. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm great, sir, man. I'm great. Just came off a real good football weekend. Got a championship game to watch tonight, man.
Yeah.
Wanted to toss out a few ballers and busters, man.
Now, T, I think, have I asked you this before? I think I may have even asked you this before. You're from Alabama. You're from Alabama originally, right?
Well, no, I was actually born in Columbus. I was born on the campus.
That's right. Okay, so you're an Ohio State fan, but you in effect have lived in Alabama for most of your life.
Yes, sir.
But you're not an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, are you?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. I don't really care for them as a program, dude. I saw what they did to Andrew Zal. Nobody really remembers that.
I remember Andrew Zal. Number 5. Yeah.
Yeah, they were ranked really high that year. They went to UCLA. They lost their first game. Lost a couple of more. They were out of the national championship picture at that point, and they screwed my man over and took him out of the lineup and put it in Tyler Watts or somebody like that.
Yeah.
He couldn't even throw like a 15-yard pass on a line. Even when he threw a 10-yard route, it was a rainbow. Had no arm at all.
Right.
But they couldn't do it out the line because he was about to break Alabama's passing records, and they didn't want a ninja to have those passing records.
Wow.
I didn't care for him before then, but after that, I was completely done.
You were done with him after that, huh?
Yeah, completely done. But yeah, man, those games, dude. Okay, listen, my man for Cincinnati, the linebacker, he was wrong for that hit, especially in today's NFL. I agree that you have to be smarter than that because you know they throw a flag for anything. If it's somebody cleanly, they throw a flag.
Right.
So you know at that point you can't come in and whack my man like that. I agree with that flag, but there's a buster to that official that threw that flag on Pac-Man. Porter had no business on the field. Pac-Man ran over there. Emotions are high. It's a playoff game. They just called a penalty on dude that puts them in field goal range anyway. So he's upset about that. And they basically give Pittsburgh the game with that flag. You know, at that point you throw offsetting because Joey has no business on the field either. So you let him come on and basically win the game for them by, you know, inciting that team because he has no business on the field. And the other thing that's getting missed in this game is A.J. McCarron played like garbage for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Turn the ball over, and nobody's mentioning that. You can't blame – I don't like the fact that they're blaming the entire game on 2 of the 11 people that kept Cincinnati in the game in the first place. Because their defense kept them in the game while A.J. McCarron was sucking, missing receivers, and turning the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, let's stop. Let's talk about that for a second. That's why it's so crazy because without Burfict making the interception, I mean the crucial interception, and without Burfict – you can look at it and say all you want that it was a dirty play, this, that, and the other. It was a textbook tackle, and he puts Ben Roethlisberger out of the game. Without those 2 plays, Pittsburgh's not in this game.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
I'm sorry, Cincinnati's not in this game. They're not in a position to come back and win this game. You're exactly right.
And then Pac-Man did a great job on defense, shutting my man down for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Whoever he was on, he really didn't let them get the ball. He was playing good defense.
Yeah.
So I hated that they threw that flag on Pac-Man, and I hate the fact that they're ignoring the fact that AJ McCarron, could have did a little bit better himself. Walsh for Minnesota, man, you just can't do that. Buster to him. But a buster to the coaching staff for not being aggressive when they were in position to score. And, just taking those field goals, they could have been in a better position where they might not have been able to come back on if they would have been aggressive when they had a chance to be aggressive in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, great weekend of football. I'm going with Clemson today. I think Watson going to make the difference, and I think Saban's arrogance and not getting a better quarterback and relying strictly on defense and not putting in that quarterback is going to get them beat tonight, man. So let's go, Clemson. Everybody enjoy the game, and I'm going to hold it down, man. Appreciate you, sir. I'm gone.
Appreciate the call, T. T call 404-382-0338. From Miss Mocha Bella. She says, damn, I love that ejaculation technician. Boy, Mocha, you better watch out. From Thorny Switch says, Doug, the job is coming. Hey, man. And somebody said it earlier in the chat, and I missed it. I wasn't able to see it. But something my mother always used to say, what God got for you, can't nobody take it away. So, really, man, I appreciate it. I threw it out there last week. Say a quick prayer for your boy. Prayers are always solicited, but it is what it is, man. I really, if there were nothing to come down the pike as far as a 9 to 5, I really believe in what we're doing here on the Doug Stewart Show and the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We just got taken to the next level, and whatever that may be, and taking this show to the next level, advertising-wise and marketing-wise, man, I am in it for the long haul to try to make that happen. So, I mean, we good, but yeah, what God got for you, nothing can take it away. So we will definitely go with that. From, who do we got here? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Loose Neck Side, he says the Steelers will play the Porter fine money in pennies. Ryan mentioned that as well, that the league is going to fine Joey Porter probably, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to pay the fine, so it's no big deal at all. And, I mean, I wonder if Joey Porter was being that calculated and going out there trying to get those guys to do something stupid. Do you think that he had that in his mind before he went out there? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get under these guys' skin on this defense, whereas they're going to react and they're going to have another penalty throw. Do you think he's that smart, or do you think it just transpired that way? From Clay Davis's Shirts versus Blouses, Thorny, fans never fully embrace Blake Sims. That's true. And my man Ninja was talking about Andrew Sowell. I believe his first name was Andrew, but his last name was Sowell. I remember him. He had number 5, played for Alabama. This was probably, I moved to Atlanta in 95. This particular company I was working at, I'm going to guess this was probably 97 and 98. Starting quarterback for Alabama. Went through a lot of turmoil, man, because of, obviously, he was a black quarterback playing for the University of Alabama. And a lot of people didn't like it. I thought he was a good quarterback. I couldn't remember all the details surrounding when he was benched or when he wasn't benched or whatever. But I just remember at the time that it wasn't, the Alabama fans really weren't supporting that dude. And I remember him being very, very good as far as the quarterback position. From Grego the Plug, Tim Hasselbeck said he believes Ben was a drama queen on that sack injury. You know what? The fact that he came back and played tells you that he wasn't as hurt as he let out to be or let on to be. No way. When you get hit like that, you get driven on your shoulder, and you get up and you don't move that arm, you hold it kind of like that chicken wing pose or whatever, usually it's like a broken, clavicle or rotator cuff or something like that, dislocated shoulder. And for you to come back in that game, it simply says you weren't hurt. So I don't know what Ben was doing. He really was playing with fire. If that was the case, he could have gone out there because he missed a couple of series. They brought the Landry kid out there, and he sucked to high heaven. And really maybe it's not all his fault because he didn't have practice snaps this week. But you can't miss a couple of series of action in a game that came that close to the wire at the end and then just come back and play. So I did find that kind of strange as well. It's almost like that whole Paul Pierce situation. Like, you can't get hurt rolled out on a wheelchair and come back and play a week later. Yeah, when you get rolled out on a wheelchair like Paul Pierce did allegedly in that game a couple of years ago, when you get rolled out on a wheelchair, you got to miss a couple of weeks. If you don't miss a couple of weeks, that means your ass was faking, okay? And Ben Roethlisberger to walk out and leave that game and go back to the locker room with that chicken wing, but 10 minutes later come back in the game and throw the ball. They didn't throw the ball deep, but he came back in the game. He completed some plays. It didn't look like he was restricted and throwing the ball at all of me. That was kind of suspect. That was very, very suspect. It was. I'm waiting and interested to see what the MRI says. And, is he going to be able to play next week? If he played in this game this past weekend at the end of that game, after the injury occurred, he got to play this coming week. Yeah, I mean, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. And, Ben is a tough guy. He's this quote-unquote warrior. He's a, tough physical quarterback. But the fact that he missed a couple of series and he actually could have played was very, very suspect. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we'll wrap up today's show. I'll give you my thoughts on the national championship game tonight. We'll take any calls if we have them. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Yo, Peter Pablo.
Oh, he riding clean, too.
Drop a dime on that. I don't like that.
Let's take some calls from the request line. Caller number 1.
Hey,
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. National championship game tonight. Hold that Tiger. The Alabama Crimson Tide taking on the Clemson Tigers. The Doug Stewart Show is brought to you by ID Life. What is ID Life? ID Life is the future of health and wellness, man. You don't got to believe me. Just go and check out the products, man, and the company online at thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. I, in effect, vetted the product and the company for like 3 months. And that's no lie. I did that. So trust me when I tell you, the company, the product is just phenomenal. Go to thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. Get healthy in 2016. Clemson Tiger coach Dabo Swinney is an Alabama alumnus. Played on the 1992 Crimson Tide National Championship team. Nick Saban has won 3 national titles in the last 6 years at Alabama. He also got another one with LSU as well. Speaking of which, we talked about that on the Two Live Stews this past weekend, and I think maybe that was a question brought up, maybe on the Puppet Factory as well, is if Nick Saban wins another national championship, will he or should he go down as the greatest college football coach of all times? And you know, the other comparison, the guy that most people will tell you about, the college football purists and experts would tell you, would be Bear Bryant. Me and Ryan talked about this over the weekend, and Bear Bryant won 7 national championships in 30 years. Now, if Nick Saban wins this championship tonight, that'll be 5 championships in 11. Did you hear what I just said? Nick Saban will have won 5 national championships in 11 years. It took Bear Bryant 30 years to win 7. 6 with Alabama, and then there's even some question about that. 6 with Alabama and 1 with Kentucky, which I didn't even know anything about the Kentucky championship. But he won 7, but it took him 30 years to do it. And in this day and time, seriously, in this day and time, man, with scholarship restrictions, you got to remember back when Bear Bryant was a coach, they just used to stack the team with 50, 60, 70, 80 blue chippers. You know, you didn't have the scholarship limitations, so they'd sign a kid, they'd let him go to school free, and even if he didn't get on the field, they in effect kept him away from their rival. You know, so they get all the 4- and 5-star players and just stack the team. They'd have 100+ guys on the team. You know, many more players and much less restrictions as far as scholarships back then than they do now. If Saban wins tonight, you know, with understanding how all of that works behind the scenes as far as scholarships, and also another big factor is in today's football, the talent is much more evenly distributed because of the way the game is today. Now, everybody and their mama plays on TV. You know, a team like TCU can have a big brand. A team like Ole Miss can have a big brand. A team like Oregon can have a big brand and be seen on TV literally week in and week out. So it's not like it was 40 years ago and you didn't get on TV and you weren't seen by pro scouts unless you went and you know, you got saw or you got seen anywhere that you went. If you were a good player, the scouts would find you. I always believe that. But there was a much better case of scouts seeing you and playing on a bigger stage if you went to Alabama, if you went to Michigan, if you went to Ohio State, if you went to Notre Dame. It's not like that today. So getting the talent is much harder today for Alabama than it was 40 years ago for Alabama or 50 years ago for Alabama. I think if Saban wins tonight, man, I think you got to say he's the greatest coach of all time. I think you got to say it, and that's just not me being a prisoner of the moment. Really analyze this. I'm telling you, we talked about it this weekend on the Two Live Stews, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. 5 national championships in this day and time of college football, that's phenomenal, man. With Clemson and Alabama meeting for the national championship on tonight, it's an interesting connection between the two programs. The 3 winningest coaches in Clemson history, and I've heard this before being from South Carolina, Frank Howard, Danny Ford, and Dabo Swinney all attended and all played for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Dabo was a wide receiver on the 1992 championship team for Alabama. I don't think Dabo made any noise when he played. I don't remember no damn Dabo Swinney from 1992. So he might be like Rex Ryan's boy, a walk-on or whatever at Clemson. And a lot of these guys, man, and you know, it's a game, it's politics, man. A lot of these guys, man, they just, you know, try to get out there and be a part of a program because their long-term goal is to be a coach. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, all three of Clemson's winningest coaches played for and coached or played for or attended and played for Alabama. Interesting fact as well. So what are my thoughts on this game, man? And it's almost like I already told y'all last week and really over the last couple of weeks that I thought that Alabama was the better team this year. I just really feel in my heart of hearts that Alabama has been there before, obviously. We just talked about it the last 10 minutes. Defensively, they're so strong. They have, you know, a better coaching pedigree right now. You know, Dabo's story isn't told yet, isn't fully told yet. And Saban's story really isn't told yet as well. But Saban's had better success, obviously, based on the records in the national championships. And a lot of times in these situations, man, it just feels like that when you're an upstart team, when you're the new team to the party, to the ball, you got to kind of crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. I'm throwing all of that out of the window today. I'm throwing all of that out of the window. And maybe it's just rooting for a team from South Carolina, man, and wanting to see good come out of the state, you know, from a program that's really tried to find their way since 1981 once again, man. And the fact that I have ties to the program and all of that stuff, man, I think everybody's selling Clemson short. I mean, this team didn't go undefeated this year for nothing. This team doesn't have playmakers on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, for nothing. This team hasn't been, you know, talked about as Clemsoning and being disappointments this year and risen above all of that talk to go undefeated for nothing, man. They got real talent. They got real talent, man, and nobody's giving them a chance. Nobody's giving them a chance, man, and the X factor, not the Lone Ranger, the X factor in this game is going to be Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson can get his man off, it is on. It is on. If Deshaun Watson can get his man on, it's on. Clemson Tigers, man, I'm calling to win this game in an upset. Clemson wins tonight. 31-27. 31-27. The Clemson Tigers win the national championship game tonight. Clemson wins it tonight. Shocking the world. They pull their own Muhammad Ali tonight. The Clemson Tigers are your 2015-2016 national champions. Yes, they are. I said it. Let's get out of here, Pink Gator. Let's get out of here, Pink Gator, on that final note. Let's get out of here.
It's your grown man, Gator.
Yes, sir.
P-I-N-C.
I'm calling my shot. Deshaun Watson is the game's MVP. They shocked the world. The Clemson Tigers shocked the world. They shocked the world. The Clemson Tigers shocked the world. Yes, sir. And thank y'all so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to all the Stewies, everybody in the chat room. Shouts out to my man Dwayne Passan, Gerald Oliveri, Waterhead Walter, producer to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shouts out to my man Pink Gator for this hot track, him and Beans and Cornbread. We went with the words today. A little extra emphasis for them Clemson Tigers. Let's go. South Carolina, stand up. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Let's go, Tigers!
I just wanna live my life. I'm a cute sci-fi till I die. I'm a cute atomic dog at my wedding. I'm a cute. If I have a little boy, he gon' play as cute. I'ma have him in the cut getting good. I'm a cute. Everybody in the hood knows daddy is a cute. I had to do a song that was trippy for the cute. I'm a cute. I'm a cute. When I was knee high, I dreamed to be a cute. And now I'm 25, damn right, I'm a cute. And a step show one day, I'm a cute. Mad when we get second place, I'm a cute. Wreck my LB, dust them off, I'm a cute. Drop chicken on the floor, brush it off, I'm a cute. Boy, I'm still out, hanging with the cutes. I'm a cute, I'm a cute. You know how it is when you roll with the cutes. You know how it is when you roll with the cutes. You know how it is when you roll with the cutes. You know how it is when you roll with the cutes. I guess by now y'all can tell I'm a cute. Ain't trying to talk down, just saying I'm a cute. I still got love for the those who ain't cute. Some of my tightest partners ain't no cues. They know one thing for sure, I'm a cute. Duty calls, gotta go, no offense, I'm a cute. And they got my backstage line for the cues. I'm a cute. I'm a cute. Mama told me long time ago about them cues. Told me I could go Greek, but don't be a cute. It was in my nature to go and be a even in preschool, mama knew I wasn't girl asked me my name, I told her I'm a cute. Teacher asked me my name, I told her I'm a cute. Cops won't ID, I tell them I'm a cute. I'm a cute. I'm a cute. You know how it is when you roll with the cues. You know how it is when you roll with the cues. You know how it is when you roll with the cues. Hey, you know how it is when you roll. Yes, bruhs in the club, don't throw up your hooks. If you ain't a bruh, don't throw up your hooks. Bruhs in the club, don't throw up your hooks. If you ain't a bruh, don't throw up your hooks. Bruhs in the club, don't throw up your hooks. If you ain't a bruh, don't throw up the hooks. Bruhs in the club, don't throw up your hooks. If you ain't a bruh, don't throw up the hooks. But you know how it is when you roll with the cues. You know how it is when you roll with the cues. You know how it is.